This is an extraordinary story. A story of how fame can backfire and how fan worship can become obsession. By 2011, the actor Alec Baldwin was involved in a full-blown stalker situation with a woman who believed he wanted her to be his wife.
I am not Alec Baldwin's stalker, and I'm gonna prove it to you. Let's start this journey of exposing the truth with Alec Baldwin and Hilaria Baldwin and many, many others.
But how had someone like Baldwin allowed something like this to happen to him?
Alec Baldwin is part of an acting dynasty and a hugely popular star in America, not only in film but also in television. He is somebody who I think has reached megastardom levels.
Hollywood is full of celebrity couples, and Baldwin soon became involved with someone whose career was well established.
Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger were married together for several years. This was another coupling of two A-list stars. She is beautiful. LA Confidential, she was one of the stars of that. And, they made quite the intense couple.
Baldwin was no stranger to controversy, though, and would often let his aggressive side come to the fore.
Alec Baldwin's quite intense. He's very serious. He's intense in his acting and also in his personal life.
Alec Baldwin is certainly very hot-headed. He seems to have a lot of difficulty controlling his emotions and has some anger issues. In 2011, a stewardess asked him to power off his phone, and he refused and threw a massive tantrum. He had to be escorted off the flight.
He speaks his mind. Yeah, he doesn't hold back. I mean, he's been doing that all along. I mean, he's still doing that. He hasn't let up.
Just recently, Alec Baldwin made news again because he got into a fight with a guy in New York City over a parking spot.
Baldwin has a way of escalating situations that most of us try to de-escalate.
It almost seems as though he thinks there's a different set of rules that applies to him, given his celebrity.
He's had spats sadly with his children that have been documented. He left her a message on a phone machine that's been widely replayed around the world.
I am going to get on a plane, and I'm going to come out there for the day, and I'm going to straighten your ass out when I see you. Do you understand me? I'm going to really make sure you get it.
But conversely, he also has a protective side when it comes to his family.
He definitely has a protective side, as we saw back in 1993 with Kim Basinger. Just days after she gave birth, they were walking with their child, and a photographer tried to come up and approach them and take their picture, and he was not having that at all.
He's a feisty fella. He's well known for punching the occasional photographer. That doesn't mean that he invites drama into his life or he enjoys it if it does intrude upon him.
In the early part of the century, that's exactly what happened when Genevieve Sabaron crossed his path.
In 2002, Sabarin met Baldwin on the set of The Adventures of Pluto Nash. It was a film that he had a small cameo in, but she was acting as publicist.
She's beautiful, energetic, erratic, and a little unstable.
Although they didn't have many dealings with each other at that stage, Sabaron claimed that Baldwin had tried to get to know her better.
She claimed that when he was still married, he had tried to slip her his phone number under the table, and she didn't call him because he was still married. And then 10 years later, a mutual friend arranged a meeting.
By 2010, Sabaron had made a move to New York to focus on her acting career. Baldwin was now living in Manhattan, following his fraught and very public divorce from Kim Basinger.
They met here in New York while she was contemplating this change of life and effort to make a career of acting. On at least one occasion, I think there is no dispute that they had dinner together. The stories may begin to diverge at that point.
They met for dinner on behalf of a mutual friend, Martin Bergman. Now, he claims that Genevieve wanted some career advice and wanted to get that from Alec. So Alec met up with her.
I think it was a combination of a prospective romance and an opportunity to advance her career instantly.
There are two entirely differing versions of their night together in Manhattan.
She claims that that night ended in a sexual encounter, which Alec denied.
It's slightly murky. It depends whether you believe her or you believe him.
Regardless of what occurred that night, the events of the evening had a profound effect on Genevieve Sabaran.
The dinner that Sabarin had with Alec Baldwin was clearly a big event for her. And why wouldn't it be? You know, she's having dinner here with a big movie star. But it's something that she's clearly ruminated on and she's been thinking about a lot. And she has decided that that was love. That was something epic and life-changing for her. And she believes for him also.
According to her, they had phone sex several times. He expressed an interest in continuing a relationship with her. They spoke on the phone, they emailed, and he reciprocated a lot of this initially.
I think she believed that they were going to have a romance going forward and that this was the start of a new life for her. And unfortunately, that was not the case.
But Alec Baldwin had another woman on his mind. The media soon began to report that he was in a new relationship.
He started seriously courting Hilaria, who would become his future wife and the mother of 4 of his children.
Born in Spain, Hilaria was working as a yoga instructor in New York when Alec Baldwin met her. While Baldwin appeared to be committed to Hilaria, Sabaran claims that he was in constant contact with her.
Sometimes he would call me at midnight. And I would see the next morning on internet that he was at the Emmy Award with her. So he started going out with Hilaria on his public deal appearances, but when he came back alone at home, he would call me for an hour. That tells a lot.
Either she perceived something that happened that didn't, or maybe there was something that happened, that he expected to be short-term and she just continued. And at that point, he was now married to a woman.
I think he started backing away, and I think that she continued to come on stronger and stronger and stronger.
Genevieve now embarked on a mission to get Baldwin's attention.
Sabarin starts to bombard him with email messages, which are bizarre, really, in content.
The emails that I was shown as part of discovery in the criminal case are dated 2012. They occurred after there had been public acknowledgement that Alec Baldwin was involved in a relationship which culminated in the marriage with Hilaria. And they all contain reference to the fact that my client wanted to have a meeting with Alec Baldwin, that she wanted what she at various points referred to as closure with regard to their relationship. There is some that indicated that she was deeply in love with Alec Baldwin, that she wanted to marry him, that she wanted to be a part of his life.
She was not going to let this just die down, that she was going to go and confront him. And she's an outspoken, vocal woman. She wanted her feelings to be out there and she wanted to be heard. And once it became apparent that he had no interest in her other than a one-night stand, I think she reacted. And I think she overreacted. And I think that was the impetus to the avalanche of emails Mr. Baldwin received.
Some were friendly and some were saying, I need money from you, or I want to have your baby.
She proposed to him at one point, told him she wanted to have a mini Baldwin with him.
They moved from, I'm in full ovulation, now's the time to go, to call the FBI if you want me out of your life, otherwise I'm going to hound you.
As time went on, Genevieve appears to have become more desperate for communication. The amount of emails increased, and their tone began to change.
As a general proposition, the behavior that is often attributed to those that are ultimately charged with stalking and harassment. If their initial emails aren't answered or they don't get the answer they want, the conduct can escalate. The tone of the emails can become more strident, they can become more frequent, they can become more manic, and the conduct can escalate just as a general proposition.
Sabaran began to turn her attention towards Hilaria Baldwin.
It's extremely common for family members to be embroiled in this web that is spun by a stalker, because a stalker is interested in anybody that has any form of connection to their target. She looks at his partner and thinks, well, if you weren't in the picture, would that clear the way for me?